everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Joyce. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how you can start learning to code, or what you need to know before you start learning to code. You might want to start programming and you don't know where to start. Coding, you can use it to do so many things. It's not just about web development. So I have a few tips I'm going to share with you today. So if you plan to start learning how to code, you have to start from one aspect of programming. It doesn't really matter which one. All you need to know is to learn the basics, which will help you across any other platform you want to learn. So the few tips I'm going to share today is going to be what kind of software you're going to be developing, the tools you need, and where you can actually learn to code for free. For web development, you would need JavaScript. JavaScript is awesome. You can use it for front end and the back end. Front end being the design, the look, and all the feel around the software, what you can visualize as a user. Then the back end is what happens when you click a button, or what happens when you click an arrow on a website, how it takes you, what talks to it, or what's the command that makes those buttons and those effects to be seen on the front end. So that's what the back end is. So JavaScript, you can use it to do the front end and the back end. Then you can also use Python to develop your websites or web pages. So Python has different packages and libraries that suits different software. It depends on what you want to do with Python. So it's a very great tool if you want to develop web apps or websites. Python has a library called Django, which you can use to write your program. You could also add CSS and different JavaScript libraries that talk to Python, and you can use it to create awesome websites. So for Android, you would need to know Java. So that's the language you're going to be using to learn Android development. But right now, Google is trying to shift away from using Java into Kotlin. That's a new language that Google is going to be using. It's already in place, so you might want to learn Java first, because most of the apps are still running in Java, and maybe along the line you still learn Kotlin. That's for Android development. It doesn't really matter which language you start with or which program you start with, but you just have to start from somewhere. You could choose app or web. So for iOS app development, you would need to learn Swift. Before, it used to be Objective-C, even though Swift still contain lots of Objective-C code, but Swift is the common language that's being used to develop iOS apps. So for Android apps, you're going to need just any other laptop. You could also code or write your Android apps on Mac, on HP computers or Windows computers, or Linux. So it doesn't really matter. But if you're writing iOS apps, specifically going to be using Mac. I don't know why they don't like other computers using their or running their programs. But then there's also adaptive ways of using Windows computers to write Swift code. If you're going to be developing iOS apps, you would need to have a Mac, yeah, either a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air. But for me, when I was programming, when I was developing iOS apps, I got a MacBook Air. It's awesome, but it has a very low memory capacity, so you have to start battling with space or storage, or start changing it. So if you have good fund, or you have the money to buy a MacBook Pro, you could go for that. But if you also want to, maybe along the line, buy iOS storage, then that's fine. You start paying monthly for their cloud storage. But for me, I didn't really get the best out of my MacBook Air, even though it's sleek, it's beautiful, but I'm struggling with data storage right now. Number 3, development you may want to go into is game development. Yes, you might want to create an awesome game that you and your friends may start playing, or a game that could just blow up and everyone start playing. It doesn't really matter, but most important thing is to learn the basics and learn how the code flows and how to write it, put it together, and create awesome products. It's not just about coding. Don't just learn coding, copying codes, and pushing out products every time, but try to be creative, make something that'll be fun. Just create something new. That's what coding is. It's for me, but it just depends on what you want to get out of it. Then you could also learn to code, or if you've learned to code, you could use it to solve problems, automate tasks, your everyday tasks, copy and paste, something you do at work that is very repetitive. You could use it to, you can automate stuff with Python or Java just to make work and life easier. So most of your code is going to be written on a code editor. For Python, I use Atom. Atom is so awesome. I like the way I can view different types of languages. I can open up JSON file, and the way it presents JSON file is so beautiful. The Python, you could even open Excel, CSV files, and it's just awesome. I love to use Atom for writing my Python code. But if you're also programming on Python, you might want to use PyCharm. PyCharm is a dedicated editor for, or IDE for Python. So it depends on the program you want to run. So if you're writing Python code, you may need to use Atom or PyCharm. Then if you're writing Android apps, if you're programming for Android apps, you would need IntelliJ IDEA or Eclipse. For me, I prefer IntelliJ IDEA because the debugging process is very fast. Another thing you need when you're learning to code is where to find solutions to your problem. You need Stack Overflow and being able to search on Google to find solutions to your questions. There are so many people that have had challenges that you're going to face. So going to Stack Overflow, register there, and shoot your questions when you're in trouble. And I hope this video helped you to make your choices and get started with coding if it's what you want to do. Please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. Like, share, invite your friends, and if you have any question, please ask me on the comment section below. Support me. I'm just starting out on this channel. Thank you and have a great day.